Hearing about him. That is the only occupation of a Krishna conscious person. Now we'll read text 1 through 14 to 14. 13. Okay. We'll just read translations now. We can go to chapter view on Veda base. King Parikshit inquired, my dear Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, being everyone's well-wisher, is equal and extremely dear to everyone. How then did he become partial like a common man for the sake of Indra and thus kill Indra's enemies? How can a person equal to everyone be partial to some and inimical towards others?
Lord Vishnu himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all pleasure. Therefore, what benefit would he derive from siding with the demigods? What interest would he fulfill in this way? Since the Lord is transcendental, why should he fear the Asuras, and how could he be envious of them?
O greatly fortunate and learned Brahmana, whether Narayana is partial or impartial has become a subject of great doubt. Kindly dispel my doubt with positive evidence that Narayana is always neutral and equal to everyone.
The great sage Sukadeva Goswami said, my dear king, you have put before me an excellent question. Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord, in which the glories of his devotees are also found, are extremely pleasing to devotees. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of the materialistic way of life. Therefore, great sages like Narada always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one of the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful activities of the Lord. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vasudeva and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari.
Good translation. Yeah. We have Parth. Oh, what's your name? Yeah.
Manish.
Manish. Okay. Welcome to Manish.
Yeah.
Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Please join us in the reading.
Okay.
After he reads, you can also read from the.
Yeah.
Who's Namdev?
Huh?
Yes.
This is very difficult.
Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is always transcendental to material qualities, and therefore he is called Nirguna or without qualities. Because he is unborn, he does not have a material body to be subjected to attachment and hatred. Although the Lord is always above material existence, through his spiritual potency, he appeared and acted like an ordinary human being, accepting duties and obligations apparently like a conditioned soul.
You can read further. I think they don't have access.
My dear King Parikshit, the material qualities Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna all belong to the material world and do not even touch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously.
When the quality of goodness is prominent, the sages and demigods flourish with the help of that quality, with which they are infused and surcharged by the Supreme Lord. Similarly, when the mode of passion is prominent, the demons flourish, and when ignorance is prominent, the yakshas and rakshasas flourish. The Supreme Personality Godhead is present in everyone's heart, fostering the reactions of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna.
Text 9. The all-pervading personality of Godhead exists within the heart of every living being, and an expert thinker can perceive how he is present there to a large and small extent, just as one can understand the supply of fire in wood, the water in a water pot, or the sky within a pot. One can understand whether a living entity is a demon or a demigod by understanding that living entity's devotional performances. A thoughtful man can understand how much a person is favored by the Supreme Lord by seeing his actions.
When the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates different types of bodies, offering a particular body to each living entity according to his character and fruitive actions, The Lord revives all the qualities of material nature, Satvaguna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna. Then, as a super soul, he enters each body and influences the qualities of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, using Satvaguna for maintenance, Rajaguna for creation, and Tamaguna for annihilation.
O great King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of the material and spiritual energies, who is certainly the creator of the entire cosmos, creates the time factor to allow the material energy and a living entity to act within the limits of time. Thus, the Supreme Personality is never under the time factor nor under the material energy.
O king, this time factor enhances the Satoguna. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is the controller, he favors the demigods who are mostly situated in Satoguna. Then the demons who are influenced by Tamoguna are annihilated. The Supreme Lord induces the time factor to act in different ways, but he is never partial. Rather, his activities are glorious, and therefore he is called Urushrava.
Formerly, O king, when Maharaj Yudhishthir was performing the Rajasriya sacrifice, the great sage Narada, responding to his inquiry, recited historical facts, showing how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always impartial, even when killing demons. In this regard, he gave a vivid example.
Okay, we'll end the reading here. Now, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for participating in the reading. So, first of all, welcome to Manish Prabhu. Is it your first time at the temple?
No, I come often
Okay.
in the morning time.
Okay. So every morning we have chanting, and after that we have this Bhagavatam class. And then darshan will open soon. And then we have aartis, kirtans. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, primarily dealing with this great devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, who was so dear to the Lord. There's one verse in 7th canto, 8th chapter, I think 17th verse, where Narsimha appearance is described. And that verse shows how much love Narsimha has for his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So this particular canto, in fact, the entire the entire canon of Vedic literature that describes the Supreme Lord's glories and his pure devotees' glories, they are filled with love stories, stories of real love, not just the worldly so-called love we see. So that verse, 7.8.17, glorifies Narsimha as Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam Tincha Bhuteshvakileshu Chatmana Adrishyatatyadbhutarupamudvahan Stambhe Sabhayam Mantriyam Namanusham Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. To make the words of his devotee Prahlad come true, Lord Narasimha appeared out of a pillar. So how much love the Lord has for his devotees. Just to make his devotees' words come true, he is willing to do something extraordinary, that has never been done before. Something out of the box. He's willing to do anything and everything for the sake of his devotees. So this is a wonderful canto. And how does this canto begin now? Right now we are taking a high level view of this canto, then the series of verses that we read, and then we will specifically go to the translation and purport we read today, the 4th verse. So this canto begins with Parikshit Maharaj's inquiry based on what was described to him until 6th canto. So Parikshit Maharaj, for the sake of others' benefit, he inquired from Shukdev Goswami, asking this question. But it appears that the Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, is partial to the demigods because he appears to be favoring them and he appears to be going against the demons. So, yeah, somebody who is beyond this temporary realm of matter, how can he be partial to somebody? Because partiality is a material quality. And very wonderfully, Prabhupada explains in the purpose. When does one uh, create these distinctions of friend and enemy? Or when does one become partial towards somebody, whereas inimical towards somebody else? When somebody is affected by material qualities, when somebody is in need of some help, when do we call somebody a friend? When that person helps us in our whatever existence in this world, whatever we want to do in this world, those who come and help us, we call them friend. We label them as friends. And those who block our flow, those who become obstacles on our path, what do we call them? Enemies. So, but the Supreme Lord is beyond all these material needs. He is not in need of anyone's help. So why would he create labels of friends and enemies? In fact, Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, which was 9.29. So, please pray, please.
तमाम सर्वभूतेषु नाम देवस्य नाम प्रिय ये 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 भजन्ते तु मां भक्त्या
Thank you. Krishna is himself saying, I'm equal to all living entities. I don't consider anyone a friend or enemy. So, but yet, in that same verse, he is contradicting himself. It's a very nice verse where Krishna speaks something and then contradicts himself. There's sweetness in that contradiction. So Krishna is saying, I'm equal to all. But yet, in that same verse, in the second part of the verse, he's saying, but yet, those who worship me, ye bhajanti to mam bhaktya, mai teteshu chapyam. What does mai teteshu chapyam? They are in me and I am in them.
friend body there.
Yes. So he's saying nobody is a friend or enemy to me, but yet those who worship me, I sort of, especially, uh, I'm inclined toward them. Sort of. This looks like a contradiction, right? No, there's no contradiction here. How do we understand this? This example has been given by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, where he says, in the United States, we have some states. Most of the states have state taxes. Massachusetts has a good amount of state tax. California has the highest state tax. But yet there are states that have no state tax, like New Hampshire or Texas, or even Washington state, where we have Seattle. So those states don't have state tax. Now somebody may complain, hey, what is this? Partiality. Some people have to pay state tax. We pay so much state tax in Massachusetts or in California, but Texas, Washington, New Hampshire, these states have no state tax. Partiality. What is this? Somebody may complain. No, there's no partiality. Yeah, yes, it appears there is partiality in this sense, but yet, if we consider the fact that, well, if you want that situation of not having to pay any state taxes, you are free to move to those states. Anybody is free to move to those states. Nobody is stopping you. So similarly, does Krishna's so-called inequality also, this can be wonderfully explained. He is equal to all living entities. In what sense? Sorry, let me first take this point. Krishna is inclined to his devotees. He does give special attention to his devotees. So this may appear like partiality, but yet there is impartiality. Impartiality in what sense? Anyone is welcome to come and become his devotee. Nobody is permanently disqualified. Everyone is welcome, regardless of the caste, creed, religion, nationality, race, color of the skin. Everyone is welcome to become his devotee. So, isn't it impartial? So, here, this canto begins with this question, that it appears that the Lord is partial, but somebody who is beyond the three modes should be impartial, right? So Shukdev Goswami really appreciates this question and he begins answering. And yeah, first he glorifies the Supreme Lord. And then now he's going to start describing an incident from Mahabharata. Right? Shishupal was slain, and even Yudhishthira Maharaj had a similar question. When Shishupal was slain, very mercifully slain by Lord Krishna with his Sudarshan Chakra, what a pastime it was. Any spilling of blood could have spoiled the whole yajna. But Lord Krishna made sure that his Sudarshan Chakra cut off the head of Shishupal, who was very demoniac and offensive. But at the same time, there was no spilling of blood. So, and when that was happened, um, the Atma, the real person who was acting as Shishupal, when that soul left the body, it entered Lord Krishna and then went back home, back to Gaudi. That was one of Jaya and Vijay, one of the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. Who Jaya and Vijay, they first came and acted as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupal and Danta. So when everyone could see, oh, this soul has left the body. Usually, when somebody dies, we don't see the soul leaving the body. But in this case, everyone present saw. It was a miracle. So the soul left the body and entered Lord Krishna. Not merged into Krishna. Some people misunderstand this as merging or losing of one's individual existence. No. The soul maintains its identity. The soul is always subordinate to Krishna, the Supreme Lord, who is the super soul. The soul never merges with the super soul and loses its existence. So some people have this misconstrued understanding from the scriptures that we become one with God, and all this misunderstanding many people have. But the soul always maintains its separate identity. So Yudhishthira Maharaj had this question. I've heard it takes so much for a living entity to get liberated. But this Shishupal, he was always so offensive, but yet he got liberation. Wonderful that is. He expressed his wonder. And he is asking Narad Muni, how is it happening like this? What's happening? How did Shishupal, who was so offensive, right from his birth, he was offensive toward Krishna. How did he get such an exalted destination? So then Narad Muni begins answering. Narad Muni also explains the wonderful nature of the Supreme Lord, his all pure nature. Anybody who comes in contact with him becomes purified. There are beautiful verses, memorization verses, which are there in the Varatnamala book, small pocket book. Narad Muni says, Tasmat Vairam Nirvairena Bhairana Sneha Kamena Vayanja Kathanchin Nekshate Pritham. So, whether somebody approaches the Supreme Lord with a feeling of enmity or lust or any other types of feelings, just because of coming in contact with this all pure, all good personality of God, he becomes purified. So that's the nature of the Supreme Lord. In that sense, we can see his impartiality. Even demons who come in contact with him get benefited. All those who are on the opposing side in the war of Kurukshetra, fighting against Krishna and Arjuna, they were also benefited. If they died on the battlefield, seeing the beautiful form of Lord Krishna along with his pure devotee Arjuna, they were all purified and they attained a very exalted destination. They got liberated. Hmm. So anybody who comes in contact with Krishna is benefited. Hmm. So yes, that's the all pure and impartial nature of the Supreme Being. Even in his punishment, even when he appears to punish some living entity, he is doing the greatest good to that living entity. Even his so-called punishments are his greatest acts of benevolence toward any living entity. So having this understanding, a mature living entity, a spiritual practitioner never complains about whatever may happen with him in his life. Hmm. So now, we are having had some overall context. We'll dive into the purport of this specific verse we read, fourth verse. So, fourth and fifth verse. Shukdev Goswami is saying, my dear king, you have put before me an excellent question. Discourses concerning the activities of the Lord, in which the glories of his devotees are also found, are extremely pleasing to devotees. Such wonderful topics always counteract the miseries of the materialistic way of life. Therefore, great sages like Narad always speak upon Srimad Bhagavatam because it gives one the facility to hear and chant about the wonderful activities of the Lord. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasdev and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of Lord Hari. So Shukdev Goswami is profusely glorifying the glorification of Lord Hari. He is glorifying the glorification of Hari. Because that's how wonderful Krishna Katha is, Hari Katha is. Hmm. It is the medicine for all evils in this world. It's the medicine for all sufferings in this world. Hmm. Prahlad Maharaj himself in this same canto later on, he says, Tat sadhunanya suravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraham. Sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraham. Asatgraha, because of having accepted the temporary, because of having taken this temporary realm of matter around us so seriously, mhm, we've taken this world as the all in all reality, forgetting our eternal connection with Krishna, with the Supreme Lord, with our Master, with our lover. Forgetting him, we are taking the temporary things of this temporary realm of matter so seriously. Asatgraha. We have accepted this temporary realm of matter as we have taken it to our heart. We've taken it very seriously. And because of that, as a result of that, what happens? Sada samudvigna dhyam. Sada samudvigna dhyam. Our mind and our intelligence is always in a disturbed state. So, sada samudvigna dhyam asatra. Hitvatmapatam grihamanupam vanam gato yat harim ashrayat. Such a person should, yeah, go beyond these temporary activities and take shelter of Lord Hari. Hmm. Prahlad Maharaj is even saying, one must go to the forest and take shelter of Lord Hari. Hmm. But yeah, even if going to the forest doesn't work for somebody, while we are in our homes, let's take shelter of Lord Hari. Bhakti Vinod Thakur taught us, Kriye Thakur, Vane Thakur, Sada Hari Bole. Wherever you are, whether at home or in the forest, always chant the name of Lord Hari. Always take shelter of Lord Hari. Always chant his glories. These glories, they can give us real joy, real solace. So, other topics of this world, when we talk about them, the gossip of this world, negative talks about somebody, they agitate our minds. So, yeah, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu describes 4 types of talks or activities: positive, negative, waste, and routine. So, uh, talks or acts which are good overall, which do good to somebody else, And especially the highest form of positivity is connecting with God, with Krishna. They come in the positive category. Negative means hateful talk about somebody or hateful actions towards someone. Then waste, or gossip, or useless talks, blabbering, unnecessary blabbering. That can be categorized as waste, wasteful talks or acts, actions that have no real fruitful meaning in our lives. That those can also be classified as waste. And then there are routine talks or acts. So out of these four categories, two should be accepted and two should be rejected. Which two should be accepted and which two rejected? Manish ji
Positive ones
and
and like
routine. Routine we accept because we have to go on with our day-to-day activities. So routine talks or acts, which even though they are related to the body, because they pertain to somehow functioning in this world smoothly, yeah, we accept it. And which two are to be rejected? The other two, waste and negative. Now, routine talks and acts also, if we overdo them, in which zone would they go? Which category would they go into? Nothing. Waste, yeah. Even routine talks and activities, we don't have to necessarily do them too much. Like sometimes people start talking about career and studies, job, career, and okay, some of it is required for functioning in this world, but if we only keep dwelling on that, in what zone will it go? Waste. It's unnecessary. Then our consciousness becomes more and more absorbed in this temporary realm of me. And what happens? Sada samudvek nadhiyam. We become absorbed in anxieties of this world. But what is the solution for this? Harikatha. Harikatha is the most positive possible talk and activity. Right now, our coming together and sitting here glorifying Krishna, it's the best possible thing we can do in our life. Coding or attending some business meetings, yeah, it's okay. It's a part of the routine, but not as important as this Harikatha. Harikatha, Narad Muni, first canto itself, when he's speaking to Srila Vyasdev, instructing him to write Srimad Bhagavatam, he, after describing even his own past life, Narad Muni concludes by glorifying Harikatha like this. Etat dhyatura chittana matra sparshechayamahu bhavasindhu labodeshtu hari charyanavarana. Narad Muni is saying, Etat dhyatura chittana, atura chittana, because our chitta has become filled with anxieties. Why? Because of sensual desires, matra sparshechayamahu. Because we want to bring sense objects in contact with our senses. So sense gratification is material pleasures are basically sense gratification, and most living entities are looking for material pleasures in the form of sense gratification. We will, Manish, we will offline discuss what this sense gratification means. It's the essence and the crux of all material pleasures. And desires for sense gratification keeps our minds and our intelligence always in a state of anxiety. Matra sparshechayamahu. But Bhavasindhu Labodashram, Narad Muni is saying, but there is a suitable boat that can help us cross this ocean of tribulations and anxieties. Bhavasindhu, this material world, this samsara is often also called as Bhavsagar, Bhavasindhu. Bhavasindhu Plavodrashtu, it is a beautiful, suitable boat that can help us cross this ocean of miseries and anxieties. And what is that? Haricharya, Haricharya, Hari, glorification of Hari. So that's the glory of glorification of Hari. So let's take to Hari Katha wholeheartedly. Let's give our lives to this. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying, whenever there is an opportunity to hear about the transcendental activities of the Lord, we must take it very seriously. And such glorification of Lord Hari, it must begin with glorifying the representatives of Hari, the spiritual master who are bringing us close to Hari. True spiritual master is a genuine personality who's taking us closer to God, not the bogus gurus who simply try to exploit their followers. A true guru, a true spiritual master is acting in the mode of being a servant of God. And as a service to God, he plays the role of uh, becoming the guide of other living entities, enabling them to come closer to Lord Hari. A true guru is not an ambitious being running after followers. A true guru, uh, genuinely with a spirit of service, enables. Basically, a true guru is a servant leader. Even in modern day corporate world, this idea of servant leadership has come into picture now. And people glorify and appreciate this concept of servant leadership. So a true guru is a servant leader, a spiritual leader, but internally he is in the mode of being a servant. He thinks like this: as a service to all these disciples of mine, I will accept their theologies or their respects, but I'll pass them upward to my guru. And that guru is also a genuine guru who passes it upward further. So this is the disciplic chain of succession. So yes, such glorification of Lord Hari, of God, must first begin with offering respects to the spiritual master. Now we will have some reflections and some quiz questions. So, okay, Prabhu, would you like to ask any quiz?
Because time now, quizzical. Yeah, please.
I spoke spontaneously. I haven't come up with questions. If you want to ask any questions to the audiences.
What is the boat which can cross over the ocean?
Understand?
We can cross over this ocean of their existence.
The Harikatha.
Haribo. So how, whether Lord is partial or impartial? So he told Lord is partial also. In which case Lord becomes partial? Looks like that. Which is not partial.
And
Yeah, I said that if somebody will take shelter of the devotees. I mean, sorry, if somebody takes a, of course, somebody takes shelter of the Lord. Once he becomes a devotee, then he gets the special benefits. That means we can
Impartiality in the sense that everyone is welcome to become a devotee. How wonderful.
Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Krishna, welcome. What's your good name? Henrik. Okay, welcome.
No, no, I didn't